There are persistent stereotypes associated with being a Black woman, and being hypersexual is one of them. Being hot and tight and ready to thot. That's how Black women are perceived a lot of times. And that's how Black women have put themselves out, especially over the last few years. Our entertainers are extremely hypersexual, the music, the culture. And so, it's not a surprise to me. We're perceived as being fertile, welfare queens who can't stop popping out babies. And it's a strong, strong stereotype that has persisted for decades now. I mean, even since slavery, because the stereotype evolved out of the ways that many of our ancestors were abused by the men. So the women would excuse their husbands and sons and their uncles and brothers. They would excuse their behavior with the slave women by blaming the slave women for being hypersexual and seductresses, which of course was not true. I mean, maybe in some instances, but highly unlikely in most. So there are other stereotypes that follow us around, but I'm just here to say we might as well go ahead and embrace them. And this is going to be a very controversial take, but just follow me here. We might as well go ahead and embrace these stereotypes. And I'm going to say that this is the first video in my series about embracing Black stereotypes. The first one that I feel like we should focus on is the stereotype of being hypersexual. We may as well embrace it. We may as well embrace being perceived as hypersexual. And the reason why is because it's actually not a bad thing if harnessed properly. We could flip this stereotype on its head and make ourselves more highly prized women in the marketplace of society. This is who people already think we are, hypersexual. If you look around at many of our entertainers and successful politicians even, think of Jasmine Crockett and her brothel-style makeup, her aggressive demeanor. She's leaned into those stereotypes. Somebody like Meg Thee Stallion has totally leaned into those stereotypes. But now regular women who are walking around in the street and at the grocery store need to flip those stereotypes on their head and also use them to our advantage. Many women are out here single because they are being the hypersexual stereotype in the worst way possible. So it's time to rebrand ourselves. And it's probably going to be easier for the women here in the dollhouse, because being hypersexual and being fertile and being able to be seductive for your man and give him a little dance, a little twerk session, those are all positives. The key for turning this stereotype on its head is making all of those actions exclusive to someone who is building a family with you. The twerk should not just be for any old jerk. It should not be for getting out at the red light and twerking on the headlight. It should not be for the homecoming parade. It should not be for just regular women. Okay? We've got plenty of other people who do the dances for us, our entertainers, the majorettes on the HBCU campuses. They show everybody the ad. We've already shown the world who we are. But now it's time to make it exclusive for the people who are deserving of that energy. So the world really benefits from the contributions that we make. And we have to give something. You always get what you give. Responsibility for your sexual energy will reap rewards. If you give respect to yourself and respect the hypersexuality that we embody, it will reap the rewards of respect. This is one of the natural laws. Even Newton's laws of motion says that for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. So in order to have success with this, we might as well lean into it and actually embody the traits of what is celebrated in culture. Doing the greater good for humanity by harnessing this hypersexuality and the natural fertility to further the goals of the nation by being wives and mothers who raise the best children, because we're keeping the dads happy with, all this sexual energy that we have. And even if you can't twerk around or you aren't really all that sexy, the magic of the stereotype is that it does the work for you. Without even having to do it, the foundation has already been set. So let's just embrace it and then wield that power responsibly. Okay? So, yeah, I said a little bit about twerking. And yes, black women, we're known for being amazing at moving our butts. Like I said, we're well known for twerking these last few decades. And that's something that can be flipped into a positive. People need to stop doing it in public and make it a bit more sacred, because the art form can be something that is way more sacred, brought in, related to the fertility, and become more ritualistic. A cultural dance for Black Americans that is passed down in private from our elders in the community to the daughters in the community. Other cultures have ceremonies and rituals like these. We need to create our own and really rebrand, do the work of rebranding. Maybe these ceremonies can be developed privately and then maybe even as a collective. These are just my random ideas of us, how we can lean into the stereotypes that already exist about us, but just flipping them a little bit by using them as a positive. If Black women showed restraint and poise in how they presented the sexuality, dialing down the overtness of it, dialing it all the way back, it can change the brand worldwide and quickly. Okay, dial the sexuality back with all the clothes. The cleavage doesn't have to be down to the navel. The hemline doesn't have to be up to the butt crack. Let the entertainers do the advertising. Let Meg the Stallion do her thing. Let Cardi B do her thing. They can do that. Let the majorettes do all their grinding. As regular women out working in the community, you can keep your goods and services private. Okay? And like I said, only available to the one you're building a life with. There's also another thing that we have to do in order to embrace this hypersexuality stereotype. We have to fight against the delusion that being unhealthy is sexy. That means lose weight. Being overweight is unhealthy, and being unhealthy is not sexy. What makes a person sexy is that they exhibit symmetry and health. Everybody sees the delusion of Black women who are big back city, but they think that they are so sexy because they have their nails done, they have on designer clothes, they got their hair done, they got the golds in their mouth, They no. They no, everyone sees the delusion there. And Black women have become the butt of the joke. The thumbnail of this video is Sarah Silverman. She did blackface. She was a famous comedian. She did blackface and talked about how beautiful she was as Queen Latifah, how gorgeous and sexy. She was making fun of Queen Latifah in blackface and how big and fat she is. And everyone sees the delusion, and we don't need to be the butt of the joke anymore. There's another character. There's this character named Donna on a show that used to air in the 2010s called Parks and Recreation. And this character, Donna, she is the source of big laughs because she's always got these wild sexual escapades. She's got a long roster of men who desire her. And she's so nonchalant about how these men fall in love with her and they're fawning all over. And she's just this big, racially unambiguous lady. And she's Black, of course. And the butt of the joke is that she has this wild sex life, but she's a big girl. And what makes it funny is that it's so far-fetched. That's the joke. Like, nobody would ever suspect that Donna has this wild sex life.
Eddie, show these garbage people out. Take the garbage out, Eddie.
Donna? Gentlemen. Whatever happened to you and the Bionic Man?
Chris, he broke up with me. But he did it so nicely that I didn't even realize he did it.
I've done that to multiple men.
Ew.
Feel.
Oh.
What are you doing tonight?
I think I'm gonna have to pass.
Your loss.
Are you gonna hit that?
Him? He isn't exactly boyfriend material.
Who said anything about a boyfriend? Use him, abuse him, lose him.
Ladies' choice.
Ooh, wild card option. Okay, anybody reveal anything about their life, anything at all.
I've gotten 2 annulments. One for pleasure and one to cap off a long con I was running against Keith Sweat.
Wow.
Let's talk about personal relationships. Who wants to start? Donna?
I have several men in rotation. One's waiting for me out in the car. Don't worry, I rolled down the window.
Now
People make fun of these types of women because when they see the overweight lover girl hopping from man to man because she thinks that she's irresistible, it's delusional. Big girls are known for being easy. This is something that we can combat by losing the weight, flipping it on its head, reserving that hypersexual energy for someone who matters, and also looking the part, looking sexy. Look sexy. If you want to have a good sexual relationship with someone worthy, why wouldn't you want to look sexy for your man? So imagine if, as a collective, all of the dolls were in shape and well-dressed, showing the best attributes in a stylish way without the overt sexuality. Everyone in the world would respond differently. No one could call the dolls the least desired women anymore. It wouldn't be true. Especially since it's known that Black don't crack. Especially since it's known that Black does not crack. Because who doesn't want a freaky wife who looks 10 years younger than her age? Okay, Black women's freaky nature has been advertised enough. Everybody knows what we're capable of, okay? Everybody knows that most of us can make our booties jiggle on beat. No need to advertise it anymore. Make it exclusive. And also do the heavy lifting of doing some heavy lifting. Doing a little running. Doing the hard work of looking good. And I'm going to say this, Black women aren't the only ones who are known as hypersexual freaks. Just look at French women. Where do you think French kissing came from? All of that oral sex and just all that mouth work? It's a French thing. French kissing got its name from their freaky ways. Think about Indian women. Honey, they put us to shame on the freak scale. They have a whole book, the Kama Sutra, that explicitly details, explicitly details how to do what and when. And really, that's what we need. Some kind of ritualistic reclamation of our sexuality. We are highly fertile lovers who enjoy the dark arts and are great at it. Okay? So, again, I'm excited to see us turn things around. People are waking up. And it's because a lot of us out here getting a lot of hate for what we say, we're starting to make sense to people. And I'm excited about it. So, no need to waste your sexuality, ladies. No need to throw pearls before swine. No need to give it up to the public who absolutely does not deserve to see you in your stripper heels. No need to waste it. Make it valuable and exclusive to the people who love us, to support us, and who deserve to harness our sexual potency. As they say, use what you've got to get what you want. And on that note, y'all, I'll talk to you soon.